Okay, I want you to be thinking ahead for Thanksgiving so that the kids can actually make some cute little place setters. This will help everyone know at the table where they're going to sit. Isn't it great? He's even sparkly on the other side. And it says, give thanks, Psalm 107:1. So we can make these, and everyone can make one in your class and take it home. And it doesn't have to be a place setter. It can just be a reminder to give thanks, and so one will do. So here's what you'll need to find, and that is some little pieces of wood that's been sliced up. Now, you can buy these at the hobby store, but let me just say, if you know somebody who's got a bandsaw or something and say, this is what I need, they'll go, okay. Because we got leaves falling, we have tree limbs, and it's nothing, just stand there and go zin, 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 zin. That's a testimony. It's really not that hard. So ask ahead and see if somebody can make some of these for you, and that would be very inexpensive. And so different sizes works great. So to make these colorful feathers, look at this glitter paper. Isn't that fancy? I don't like glitter. Just clearly about that, it gets everywhere. But the glitter paper is actually better than loose glitter. But if you wanted to use paper that was plaid or a pattern on it or just solid colors, it would all be great. Just choose fall colors and that would be wonderful. So here's what we did. We kind of folded it over and then cut the feather shape or whatever shape you want to make. It was better than cutting them individually. So let me show you. Look at this fancy purple. So fold it in half like this. And then you're going to cut, let this be your bottom side that is going to be flat. So I make a tear shaped to make the feather. And then I can easily glue this together and then put it onto my bird. I'm gonna need a couple of this purple. It's pretty. Pretty. And I don't have a blue yet, so let me get a blue as well, because it is fancy, dreamy blue. All right, let's add that. And if kids need a feather shape to outline or to cut around, then it'll be easy enough for you to add that. If you'll make it out of a piece of cardstock or something, that does help whenever you're tracing it. It gives you an edge. All right. You know, that edge that you like to butt the pencil up against so that you can trace it. So it's time to do some gluing. I've got some tacky glue here that will hold a little bit faster. So I'm gonna fold these over and let them start setting. Matter of fact, I'll put a little light on that. All right. And again. You know, some clothespins would be really good right here. All right. Another one. And another one. Okay. Let me see if I've got some clothespins in here. Yep, here I do. Let me get some here. Put all these together. It's kind of like a wood glue clamp. You just need one. Let them all get set while we're working on this. They're a little bit smaller. Why don't I just put one on each side? Will work. Okay. Now we're going to get ready to start on adding the pieces. So let's do the eyes and the nose and that little gobbler, whatever that thing is, and add those to the face. So these wiggle eyes, you know, I realize I probably should put that beak on first, because the beak sits underneath the eyes. So let's do that first. The beak. Oh, this is just some cardboard. Not a big deal. Just look for some packaging stuff that you have. If you've got some yellow construction paper, that works great as always. Add that on here. Good. And then we use some of that fancy purple to make the gobbler. And so it's just a little tear shape that is added right there to the edge. So I'm gonna trim some of this scrap so we don't mess up a whole nother big thing. And add that to it. All right, a little glue to the back will work great. Because that usually goes right over the front. And now some eyeballs, so our guy can see. And a turkey who can see us coming after you, gonna eat you. And the second one. Lined up there great. Good. Lid back on that. Okay, we want to go ahead and make the little place setting right here and maybe our verse on the back. So let's cut a little circle to hold our verse. That's going to be on the back before we assemble. Super easy. If you need to trace a circle, go ahead and do that, but just kind of give it a cut. It can be rough. We're going to add our verse on the back. I think a fine tip Sharpie will work best on this. So, oh, one that's not dried out. That would work better, wouldn't it? So, let's do that. Someone must have left the lid off. I'll have to use this size. Give. Thanks. Good. And now Psalm 107:1. So see if we can get that in here. Psalm 107:1. Okay, so that's ready to go on as well. Let's see if our flowers of all, or feathers, not flowers, our feathers have set up the way we want. Maybe we'll put them on, oh, and a blue one. That would be marvelous. Great. So I'm going to turn this over, get my glue, and let's add these. I'm just going to put the glue all the way around and around. Cover that up. And let's add our feathers. I'm gonna make them flat. Good. I think I want this silver one in the very top. And then I may add a little more glue, because glue is great. Right here, to put the purple and the gold. And now I can add the give thanks. I might need a little glue right there. Let's do that too, just so it sticks. Great. Good job. Very good. So if I can hold it, I think you get the idea that it turns out like this. It looks really good. And it just needs to set up and dry. Now, to actually get it to stick to the bottom here, we just cut some pieces of cardboard, and I've glued this up ahead of time with some tacky glue, just because this needs to dry first. But that's the way it stands up. It's really not that hard to make, and it's got several steps. So it really makes it to be a fun project to work on. I think your kids are gonna like this, and I know they'll be a superstar at their Thanksgiving dinner with their fancy turkey. So I hope you can do this in your classroom, and check out all of our ideas at MrMarksClassroom.com.